Hey everybody, this is Bike Bob.
Chuck the Adventurist.
And this is the first day on our trip on Route 66. It's like the third day of us coming down or riding.
Yeah.
But it is our first day of the Route 66.
It is. It has been. So we started in Needles, California. And Charles Schultz, who wrote the Charlie Brown comic, lived in Needles for a little while and took inspiration from that desert area for Snoopy's cousin Spike. So, and then the movie Easy Rider, part of that was filmed there. So we started our journey in Needles, and then
we went to Golden Shores, Topak area, and that's where we started Route 66, really.
That's where we connected with the actual historic Route 66 road, and then ended up in Oatman.
Yeah, so we're going east, we're not going west, we're going east, and we stopped by Oatman and we saw some donkeys. The donkeys were blocking the road as we were coming into it.
Yeah.
And there's a big sign that says, "Watch for donkeys." So you have to watch for donkeys in that area. And where these donkeys came from were when the gold miners or the silver miners, they would use donkeys or burros to help extract the gold or the silver from the mines and bring it out. Well, when they were done, they didn't find their treasure, they let the donkeys or burros go. And so what do most animals do? They breed, and so that's what these do. Now in the area, if you see a donkey being born, you get to name that donkey. Did you know that?
I did not know. That's cool.
Yep.
I did not know that.
So that's one of the things down there.
Do you get to register that?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. You get to tell them what the name of the donkey is and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But you can buy carrots down there, and you can feed them carrots, and the donkeys come up to you.
Yeah, there was a lady feeding them hay cubes.
Oh, that too. And they also, they will also eat stuff off your motorcycle if you're not paying attention.
They're insanely friendly though, because I made good friends with one that at a stop we stopped at and took a selfie, and I kid you not, the burro laid his head on my shoulder, almost like hugging me. So
Yeah.
and then he went and antagonized Bobby. So I don't, maybe a 5-year-old.
No, I just don't want them to destroy my bike.
Right.
So that's the reason why. And that was when we were riding between Oatman and Kingman. Now, on this part of Route 66, the first section between Golden Shores and Oatman, it's a little twisty and windy, but it's not bad. Between Oatman and Kingman, it is twisty and windy. When it says 15, you go 15. If you see a truck and a trailer like we did today,
Yes.
that trailer's coming in your lane.
Yes,
So-
a lot of blind corners, tight blind
Yes.
corners. So
Yeah.
if you travel that road, be vigilant.
Yep.
Pay attention.
And think about this: 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 19 whatever. These people were driving these big cars.
Yeah.
And so they were driving right by each other, and there were a few in the ditch. When
Yeah.
on the side, where the cliff side or the angled side, there were some wrecks. You
Yeah.
said you counted 3?
Yeah, I counted at least three, maybe 4. I think I seen 4, but I wasn't sure what it was. But 3 solid ones for sure were sitting in the bottom of some gullies that I noticed rotting away, and from different eras. So I mean, you get going around these corners too fast, you lose control. It doesn't matter if it's raining out, it doesn't matter if it's dry out. You just got to pay attention, man. Tight,
Yeah.
windy roads, you just got to watch.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't have guardrails, whether it's the man-made one with metal, or with cable, or even with rock.
Yeah.
It's not very tall. If you're riding a motorcycle and you hit one of those, you're going over the edge.
Oh yeah, in a hurry.
And they're probably less than a knee high up going up there. So, but we rode through that. We went to Kingman, took some pictures over there, talked to some people from Portugal because that's where they were from, and took their pictures, and then they took ours, and then we saw a whole group of motorcycles. There's a company that you can rent and go riding with them. It's like a 2-week ride, but they ride Route 66 from Chicago to LA, and it takes 2 weeks to do that. So that is something that if you're interested in doing, you have to come up with the money and do it.
There were probably 12, 15 of those guys?
Yeah.
From England. They were all from England, and they were taking this tour, so
yeah,
it's worth it.
And it was, some of them were doubled up. Some they had their own bike. They didn't have a passenger with them.
Yeah.
And so we went through Kingman, and then from Kingman we went to, what was that little town?
Cool Springs.
And then we went to Cool Springs, which is that was right after Oatman, right? Cool Springs.
Cool Springs was right after Oatman, and we did a little interview there.
We'll show you right now.
Hey guys, Chuck the Adventurous, 307 Backroad Bikers, of course you know that. We are on part of Old Route 66, and we just stopped into the coolest little place that you absolutely cannot miss. Even the cat is famous here. So we are in Cool Springs, Arizona, along Route 66. It's been a good trip so far, and we are going to talk to this young lady that has this store. She's going to give us a little bit of historical information. So why don't you start by telling us who you are?
Hi, I'm Kirsten Purdue. I've only worked here about 2 months now, but there's some cool history. Our store was originally built in 1926, and it's called Cool Springs Cabins because they noticed that folks were sleeping in their cars in the parking lot overnight. We were one of the very first gas stations on this section of the 66.
Oh wow.
So they built some little cabins you can see on the right in those pictures. They were 4 walls. It was a dirt floor, but you had a bed and a wash basin, so you had shelter for the night. And they eventually had sandwiches and sodas and salads, and then booming from the 40s to the 60s, and then a fire came through and the station burned down in 1966. So it sat like that, pretty much a skeleton, until 1991, they came through and they filmed Universal Soldier out here with Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, and they were all over out here, like Hoover Dam, kind of all throughout the desert. But what they did here was they built a movie prop version of the station and did some filming, but they eventually blew it up for the film. So you can see some pictures there. It was a big deal. They said they could feel the flames or feel the explosion from about 10 miles away. And then it sat again with just some original stonework, walls and pillars until the early 2000s. And that gentleman in the right on that picture, his name is Ned, and he came in and he bought the land and built what you see today. He tried to bring it back to honor its original glory. So we've got the old gas pumps. Hi! Old gas pumps out front and everything. And then also, the story goes that Radiator Springs from the movie Cars is based off of our station.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, we've got some really cool history around here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you.
Yeah, thank you.
We will definitely be putting this up on our channel on YouTube, so everybody needs to follow and listen to her story. It's an amazing story.
Yes, thank you.
Well, you heard it here, guys.
Are you helping Mama?
There's a lot of history here, movie history, television history, that kind of thing. A lot of historical events. So when you're coming through here, I highly suggest you check this place out. It's called Cool Springs. It's along Route 66. All right, stay tuned for more of our journey. See you down the road.
So that's what we visited there in Cool Springs. She talked about the why it was called Cool Springs because a guy had built a spring. There was a little spring, and he blocked it up around it, and
Offering water.
Yep.
And I think
To soak your feet in.
Yeah.
So.
And the part about it, Hollywood being Hollywood, there was that movie shot there. So, and that was all in the interview you guys just seen. So,
And things fall down.
Don't worry about the things falling down behind me. But no, I mean we've to that point, it's been very interesting. And then from Kingman, we went to the Hackberry General Store. And as you're going along, that place will pop up out of nowhere. So be on the lookout for it. There is a sign, but the sign is there, then there's the store. And it's on, if you're heading east, it's on your left side.
If you're heading west, it's on your right side.
Yes. And so pay attention to it, but I highly suggest you stop there. It's got a lot of neat, there's an old garage there. It used to be a service area for travelers passing through. And they have the garage all set up. There's a couple of old flathead motors in there, some tools still in there, and they've got it set up to where you can take pictures. You can't go through the garage. They've got that gated off, but I mean you can see it in detail. I mean I took a few pictures there, and then the little store is just chock full of all kinds of memorabilia and souvenir stuff, and the people that work there are super cool. And Bobby actually got to talk to a couple groups.
Yep, I talked to some people from Germany. They were over here traveling Route 66. Their daughter was a nanny here, and she'd been here for a year and a half, and they were only here for a couple of weeks. And then I also talked to a couple from England, and they rode sports bikes, and she told me that she would fall asleep on the back of the bike as her husband was riding along. And she really wanted a Harley, but they were a little too old, was what she said, to be on bikes anymore. So they made the choice of not to ride anymore. So yeah.
Oh, that's like that couple going back a little bit in Oatman that used to ride.
Yep.
And they had to change it up, and now they ride the Can-Am. So
yep.
They're still out there doing it, and that's what's great.
Yeah. So then after we left Hackberry, we went up to, there was a few other little places, but we didn't really stop very much though.
Yeah, we had a time that we had to be at a certain place, so.
And so we went to Seligman, Arizona, to the Snowcap restaurant, diner.
Little diner.
Yeah, and we're supposed to do an interview, but he was not able to do the interview. The owner wasn't, but it had been around for years. I believe his father or his grandfather started it. But it is a neat place. You need to stop by there. They will play with you, say, do you want a straw? And they'll give you this. And they'll throw some mustard at you, which is that. And they will try and get you to pull on the wrong doorknob, like I did. But nice little place, neat little town. We talked to a guy that cuts hair there. He's not the barber. The barber just retired at 90 something. But it is somewhere that it's not on the regular path. When the interstates started to become popular in this country, places like Route 66, those
Oh,
towns started dying.
Yeah,
Um,
fast.
because that's where they wanted to go. Everybody wants to get there as fast as you can, and so they got off the little beaten path, and they made, like, we have I-25 through Casper, we have I-90 through the upper part of the state of Wyoming, and I-80 through the lower part of the state of Wyoming. And some of these interstates go all the way from one side of the country to the other side. If you're trying to deliver stuff via semi-truck, that's the fastest way to do it. If you want to get from point A to point B as fast as you can, that's the fastest way to do it. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to take a different approach and seeing what else is out there, because there's so many places that people don't see or don't even think of anymore, but there are people that live there and they are wanting, they still have businesses and they need to be able to create some funds there. So
You're exactly right, and to kind of touch on that same subject, that's why Biker Bob and I do what we do, is to bring forth that attention of the places that essentially time has all but forgotten. There are still communities out there, there's people out there trying to make a living, and just the historical value alone is worth it. So that's why we hit these back roads and we bring up these places. And I know everybody knows about Route 66, and I think next year is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, so I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff happening with that. But the invent of the interstate travel system, it really did kill a lot of commerce and community and things like that. And these places are still out here, and they're just absolutely incredible to see. And not only that, the little places in between, there is countryside that you just can't believe is even real.
yeah,
Some of the canyons that we've been through on this, and I know Bobby does not like canyons much, but and then just like the desert during the day, the desert during at night changes. I can't really explain it, but for me it changes. So nature itself, the animals, but yeah, I mean, take time away from the fast-paced life that everybody's living and hit these back roads and see what's still actually out there. There are hidden gems all across this country that we're all missing on a regular basis because we're in such a hurry. Slow down a little bit, go out there and just enjoy it. And the people that you will meet of all walks of life are absolutely amazing. Everybody's got a story. Everybody that we've encountered so far on this trip, I mean, especially on the Route 66 side of things, has just been so warm and caring and helpful and just awesome people. And everybody's just, it's almost like we've all been best friends for 30 years.
The other thing too is that I met a couple from Maine where we're staying at tonight, and they had bought a camping trailer and they were going to bring it, but then they looked into it and they thought, oh, we can't take it in some of those spots. So they just rented a vehicle and they drove out here, and they're doing the east to west, and then they're going to head back up north once they hit California, and then they said they were going to zigzag back to Maine. So going into Canada and into the States all the way back to Maine. So
that's the life I strive for.
Yeah.
Being on this trip has made me realize that I honestly, I don't want anything else. I just want to do this forever. And I will.
But if you, there's so many things that you can see out there that are just in your backyard that people don't think. Everyone thinks, oh, I need to be in a big city, or I need to be in a bigger city than what you were in. If you ask somebody in LA, hey, what's going on? Oh, I don't have anything to do. There's nothing to do. You could be in New York City and say there's nothing to do. You just have to find something to do for yourself.
Yeah, make your own adventure.
Yeah. When I moved down to Arizona back in 2000, the people I hung out with were great. We were a bunch of teachers, first, second year teachers, and we had so much fun. And matter of fact, we saw some of them when we were down here. But they're still my friends, and we still have fun.
And they are, I can vouch, they are, and I don't need to vouch, I don't know why I said that, but they are some of the coolest people that I've met so far, just in my travel through life. I mean, very welcoming, very caring, and I know they've been Bobby's friends for years, but it's just sitting around talking to them, it's almost like I've been friends with those guys for years. I mean, just incredible people.
Yeah. They've been very successful in what they are doing. So they're just fun.
Yes.
So, but I don't know what else to say.
Well, right now we are in Williams, Arizona, with more to come, so you'll have to stick around. Might leave you with a little cliffhanger, or maybe we'll give you a clue. I don't know. Maybe not a clue, but like a preview. We're going to go see something grand tomorrow.
And maybe stay on a corner.
Yeah.
Stand on a corner.
Maybe stand on a corner looking for a particular vehicle.
Yeah.
So, but there will be more to come on this journey. It's been pretty dang fun. We've been beat to death by the wind a couple of times. Oh, man.
People say the wind blows in Casper. It blows elsewhere too.
It blows elsewhere too, yeah. When you're riding at a 45-degree angle or more, just to keep the wheels underneath you, we had to stop a few times just to release some tension in our muscles just from holding motorcycles up.
And the roads aren't any better here or elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes it's easier to ride right down the middle part of the road, where on the other, between where the tires go, because there's not that many bumps.
Yeah, and if
oh my gosh,
traveling with other people on bikes, give each other distance, because that wind will just suddenly whip you over. And you don't want to be off somebody's back tire or next to them anywhere close if that happens, because then bad things happen, and we don't need to get into that. But yeah, just be cautious and aware and safe, and if you can't handle it, pull over. It's all good. If you get too hot, stop, cool off.
Drink something.
Drink something, yeah. We pulled into St. George and man, it got hot.
It was hot. It was hot. But yeah, you have to figure that when you're coming south, the temperature's getting warmer. So when we got to St. George, it was hot. It was hot until we left Vegas, and it was still light out, but it was not too light.
Yeah.
It was kind of dusk, and it was cooling down. And then as we came down into like the Laughlin area, it started warming up again. It was like in the 80s when we were riding, maybe 70s. It was nice. It was nice. I'm just tootling along, riding my motorcycle, and Chuck asked me later on, he goes, are you looking for animals? I go, no. He goes, javelitas. And I go, I've never seen a javelita here. So, not saying that there isn't, but I've never seen one. You might run across a roadrunner.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're fast little creatures. Might run across a snake, but at nighttime they're trying to find warmth somewhere.
Yeah.
But, and you did see a skunk over at the Riverside Casino, you said.
Yeah, there was a skunk under somebody's car, skedaddling across the parking lot.
Yeah, but there are those animals down there, raccoons and stuff like that, down there in the Bullhead, Laughlin area. So, you ever get a chance to go down there, check it out for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like we said, take some time, man. I mean, get out there and see what people have been missing for so long. There's a whole nother world out there. And one thing I want to touch on real quick, excuse me, is a travel buddy. If you go with a travel buddy, pick a travel buddy that you communicate really well with. This man right here, him and I have some great communication. Like on the motorcycles, we understand the hand signals that we give each other, stuff like that. And just somebody that you can just hang out with. Like there's no forced conversation, there's no forced reaction, there's no discomfort of any kind. Pick somebody you can travel really well with. Bobby and I have great chemistry together. I would travel anywhere in the world with this man. So pick an accountability buddy that works well with you and get after it. Go see what's out there. We're missing so much just in the United States alone.
Yeah.
So
the people I talked to today, they go, we travel in Europe a lot, because they were from England and Germany and stuff. We travel in the United States a lot. So a lot of people want to travel abroad, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you need to figure out what's in your backyard too.
Yep.
So
absolutely. No, I'm very excited. Excuse me. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to be able to do this kind of thing and share it with all of you. We get to do something special when we created this, so we really hope that you guys enjoy it. Keep following us. Keep spreading that word, man. We're out there and we're bringing the road adventure to you. But that doesn't mean we don't want you to get out on the road and have your own adventure as well.
we want to inspire you.
Yes. Inspiration through our art. That way you guys get out there and do it too. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for watching and riding along with us on this one. Man, we hope you had as much fun as we did on this. I'd like to say real quick that we do have some merch. We've got some hats, and with more to come, we're talking about some t-shirts and possibly even hoodies. So when that comes out, make sure you get yours, because we do appreciate all of you guys and we want to share this with you. I would definitely like to thank our sponsors. And be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts, which is Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And make sure you keep watching for more 307 Backroad Bikers, roads, rallies, and rides, because you never know where Biker Bob and I, the adventurous, will end up next. All right, love you all. See you down the road.